Hey guys, Dan here.
And Frank.
And we are the Mazer Squad coming at you with episode 57.
Yeah.
Can't believe we've gone through this many episodes so far, but we got a big one for you here. For the main event, we are going to be reviewing the original Mothra from 1961. But before we get to that, we'll be also reviewing Monarch Season 2, Episode 1, Godzilla Kai-sei Issue 8, Starship Godzilla Issue 5, Kaijus Cowboys Issue 7, which I can't believe we're already up to Issue 7 of that. And to start it all off, we're going to be reviewing the one-shot, which is the Fall of Ultraman by Marvel Comics. The end of the Marvel Comics series, unfortunately, is just a one-shot. But they kind of got the band back together for this one, so it's going to be great to review it for you guys. I actually really enjoyed this issue. I think as far as like you being able to, finish a whole series in one issue, I think they did the best that they possibly could have done.
Yeah. I was honestly shocked. I knew it was coming, so I'm like, oh yeah, Fall of Ultraman's coming. Like, I didn't, read crazy into it. I didn't want any spoilers, so I was like, yeah, we're gonna get this new Fall of Ultraman series. I even put it, as, issue 1 on our monthly release list. And then, I read the issue, and I'm like, wow, they're, really just spoiling the whole arc this time. I'm like, the guy's just telling us what's gonna happen, and they're gonna try to change the future. And then I get to the end and I'm like, that seems really conclusive. And then I'm seeing everybody say, all of a sudden I start looking online everywhere and I start seeing the word one shot. I'm like, why did I not see this word when this release was first announced? And I was kind of mind blown. It felt yeah, we got an ending here, but I was like, oh, it ends, but now it's going to continue into the series now, and we're going to see how we get to that end. I mean, even though they show us a ton of flashbacks, I'm like, oh, maybe they're going to change the future here now that they've been told. But pretty insane. I don't know what brought about the end of it, if Marvel was done with it, if the creative team just didn't have the time for it, because there was some pretty big gaps. I mean, that the Avengers crossover got announced 2 years before it got released practically. It got announced in summer of 2023, and it didn't come out till 2025 practically. And then this...
And this was about a year after that.
Yeah.
Just for the one issue.
Maybe it was 2022 it was announced and it came out in 2024. It was a long gap.
It was a big gap.
Yeah.
It was announced...
It was we had two Ultraman days between it. It was an Ultraman day, then the second one came, and... Yeah. And that series, because that was down to 4 issues. The first issue was really large. It was a larger first issue for the Ultraman Avengers issue. That one, in my opinion, was the best issue of the entire series for Ultraman Avengers.
Yeah. It was almost a double issue, but then also there was only a 4-issue series.
Yeah, so they really had to...
still kind of a bit short.
Yeah, they had to cram it. The ending felt kind of abrupt for that series, in my opinion. And now here... just to wrap up everything that they had, they crammed it into one issue, and they did very well with it. So I guess, do you want to get into it? I want to discuss where we start off. What are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, so we start off kind of what I would assume is pretty soon after where we left off with the Avengers. They had their karaoke night. They've resettled, and now the Avengers have left, and we start off with Shin Hayata, and he, again, it's been so long since I've read this. Is it Shin Hayata in the series?
Yeah, Shin, yeah.
Okay, it is Shin Hayata, because it's been so long, because there's such big gaps. I haven't reread the previous issues to reviewing this. And I kind of feel like I don't know what the story was with this, why they only got one issue, if it was on Super Raya's part, if Marvel was saying, hey, these aren't selling good enough, or if Kyle Higgins and Matt Grom just like, hey, we're doing so many projects right now, we don't have time to do this. We don't know what the story was. But we have a couple lines here from Shin Hayata at the beginning, which to me felt a lot like maybe the writer coming through a little bit and saying like, I just wish we could have achieved more while we had Heroes of Two Earths together. Our friends from the other universe are all gone and left us. So is this Marvel leaving behind the series? I don't know if they'd be able to like fit that in. But then we go to the next page. And it goes, when this all started, the idea of doing the right thing, of helping people, it seemed simple. But we've been at this for a while now, and I don't know if we made any real progress. And I do know I have no idea what to do next. If you do look at the original story, prior to the Avengers arc, they have made a little bit of progress, but they haven't really answered any questions. There was a lot of like up in the air. And then in the Avengers series, they kind of like skipped over the story and barely addressed it. And they were like, till next time, we'll do this once this Galactus thing's kind of taken care of. But now we're here and we can't do anything. I was naive to think I was supposed to be involved in any of this. The stakes are so high, I have no idea what Morheim even is. And she has the most resources and advanced organization on the planet at her disposal. Maybe Father of Ultra has someone else from the Land of Light, someone stronger, someone with more wisdom. Maybe they should be telling us what to do. So maybe this could be the writer saying like, hey, like I'm a little out of my scope right now, and maybe they should bring someone in or something to tie this up, because I don't know. But this is when Ultraman comes in. Goes, you know that strength should never determine agency nor responsibility. And leadership is not the absence of doubt. This is the willingness to carry on. So in other words, like, you got this, you're here, you were assigned for this job, and you're going to do the best that you can. And I kind of took that as like, kind of like maybe like the writer having some like self-doubts or something and putting this into the series. We get a good perspective of the characters. And even when you go onto the Dan Moriboshi stuff, I'm not going to read this whole comic book for you guys. Like, buy it on Amazon. It's $5. Or you can buy it from your local comic book shop. I ordered from Graham Cracker. I paid more in the shipping than I did for the book.
I've been doing Third Eye. Third Eye Comics is great too.
Yeah. If you have a local place, that's great.
Yeah.
But on Long Island, I just feel like there's just not that much in Nassau County or something.
Yeah. As parents now, it's hard to go out of our way. Like if it's not, like I have nothing.
If it's not on my route to and from
there's
work,
nothing on my route. Like
there.
I need to travel. My nearest shop is about 15 to 20-ish minutes away, which is not close. So I'm sorry. I wish if you opened one in my town, guys, I would be there. That's where my comics would be coming from. But unfortunately, I don't have one at my town.
Yeah. So we got a conversation between Ultra 7 and Dan Moriboshi, which was much needed because he was not really touched on in the Ultra 7 series, not really touched on in the Avengers series. So now we're finally getting that conversation. And Dan's just having a little bit of self-doubt. He goes, let's get to the Land of Light. We can separate and you can like move on with your life. And Ultra 7's like, I'm kind of fine with this. And Dan's like, yeah, like you're all I really have. And he's like, but you're not, I'm not all you have, because you have the rest of the people here now. They're all here to support you as well. So like they have like a nice little touching moment. And then he leaves it like, then we're going to stay together. Then in deep space, I don't know if this is something from the Ultraman series. I haven't watched the original
Bolton,
stuff.
yeah, it's from the original.
Bolton.
Yeah, and it was even in the anime series too. Like very like a glimpse in it. It was in the first season actually.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
I must have completely missed that.
Yeah, it was. I think it was like in one of the warehouses. It was definitely in an episode. It might have been like when it might have been like in the montage. It's been a while since I've watched that. It might have been like in the montage session where Dan was kind of like training him, and they were like taking out aliens. It could have been. I think it was one of those that he took out.
But it's just the meteor, right? The meteor is the monster.
Yes. Yeah. It's a monster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And does this link back to that meteorite that was in like Remember we had that like Ultra Q flashbacks we used to get, where there's like a meteorite that landed, and that's where like Morheim was and stuff. And
oh, that was so long ago, man.
I know, it was so long ago. But anyway, crash lands, and we get Mr. Koto from a year in the future.
Kato, yes.
Yeah, Kato, and he essentially explains the entire what we would have gotten in this arc.
In this,
like I'm gonna prep you for what's gonna happen in the future because we have to prep for the future, type of thing.
And they also
so apparently this.
Yeah,
what was that?
No, I was just, then they all just like he's like everyone just take a seat and I'm gonna just strap in for this and he just gets going.
Yeah, so essentially we have the Jack team and the former SSSP team. They're all together, and he explains that Morheim works for these Aldru, which are like negative energy ultras, essentially, that live in another universe. They've completely ravaged their universe, so there's no more living beings left, so they can't feed off of negative energy because there's no one there.
And they're massive. They're like
and they're bigger than ultras.
Like they're like pretty much like Galactuses in a way. Like they're huge. They're like like usually Galactus is like over the size of like like Ultraman was to scale with Galactus and that, but like this like they're like real Galactus size now. They're like towering over a city. You can see them from like the next state over practically or whatever.
Yeah, they're absolutely massive. Morheim works for them. She's like another dark energy being, but she's more of like a servant.
She's like their agent. Like she like scopes out planets, and then they destroy those universes, and that's what those batteries that she's been charging are. Their energy that she's like literally like sending in to like feed them, that they use like to defeat Galactus.
Yeah. So basically, she's tried this on multiple planets before, but it's never worked. But she found Earth, and because Earthlings love conflict and feed off of negative energy, she's figured out a way to create the conflict but then solve it, but while creating a new one. So it just creates an infinite loop of like she makes the conflict, fixes it, and while she fixes it, she makes a new one, and eventually it brought on the Kaiju, which was perfect because she didn't have to manufacture them anymore. The Kaiju would show up, create this negative energy, they'd send them away to another universe, and they'd harvest that. And then you'd have all that paranoia and discomfort of, when's the next kaiju going to attack? And then another one would just pop up. So we know that Kiki in her Iron Man suit that is now luckily somewhat Ultraman themed.
I was like, when I saw this, I was like, why couldn't they do this in that series?
Avengers series.
Like she literally in that series had an Iron Man suit. You could not tell her and Tony Stark apart. Here the suit looks great. It's red and silver. It's got the Ultraman aesthetic to it. It's got like a clear visor, so it's almost like she's got like the MAT or SSSP helmet on, and it's got like ears. It looks great. It looks
it really is a spectacular design.
That
we only get to see it in one panel.
Yes.
But it is a great design, and it is at least drawn with detail, unlike other series where we see cool designs in one panel and it's completely blurry. Not going to name those series, but
Godzilla Power Rangers.
Everything in this book is beautifully drawn. And while he's doing this, I guess, flash forward,
he explains that she's actually
we get these.
She's actually the one that kills Morheim. He explains while this flashback's going on. So you don't see how she does it, but she defeats her.
Yeah, she defeats Morheim. you see that she has like an awesome cool shield. I'm assuming it's like a Mother of Ultra type of reference over there. Her suit's vaguely themed on that. I would say very vaguely.
Yeah, extremely.
But it's got like the
it's
aesthetic is
it's
there.
Not quite, but
I would say it's similar to the anime Mother of Ultra suit.
Maybe, yeah. It's
at least the ear wise, not the visor.
Yeah.
But while we're getting this flash shooter forward, it's told in these beautiful 2-page spreads. I think the art on it is absolutely amazing. It's so telling. We go over to the next page, and it is this awesome battle of the Ultras versus the Aldru. And it is just a massive scale. We see cities crumbled underneath them while they're fighting. And we get a really bunch of cool cameos in this. Yes, we have Jack. Yes, we have Ultraman. Yes, we have Ultra 7. But on top of that, Taro makes a return. Leo makes its debut. And in the background, you see Ultraman 80.
Yes,
which is really cool.
Yeah. And, like, what's crazy is, like, these Ultra, like, dwarf the Ultras in this page. Like, literally, like 80 is like the length of one of their forearms. Like that's how big these Ultra are. Like they're massive. Like you have like multiple Ultras fighting these. They're like not like 1-on-1 fights. They're like 2-on-1, and it's still like tight. But somehow they do manage to win that battle.
Yes. If anyone who worked on this ever watches this review, if you could just answer on this page on this double spread. There is a female Aldru on here that is colored like an Ultra, but one hand is blue.
Yes. And she looks like she's clearly standing with them. And in the page before, when they show the 5 Aldru that we also see on this page, she is over there, like, on, like, the throne to the right, and she's in the dark color. So, like, the way she's standing, it looks like she's fighting against the Ultra, so I don't think she's like turned and that's why she's red. I don't know if this is just an error or
is she supposed to be red or is this a color mistake?
Yes,
because the one hand is blue and then the rest of the body's red.
Yes.
I'm just curious. Don't think it really matters too much, but it was just one of those things that like you're just looking at the book. I'm enjoying the art because it's so great.
Yeah, these are really cool.
Really
villains.
Is really cool villains, really cool art. Really wish I could have seen this. But yeah, the Ultras win, and now they just have to fix a few little blips here and there, some kaiju coming up, but for the most part, they've solved all of the world's problems. And I love how they say big and small. And it's got the, like, SSSP, like, PSA guy drawn in his style, not even, like, the style of everyone else.
With Pigmon.
With Pigmon. I thought that was really funny, like, just reward for the people that have been with this series the whole time when we used to get these little snippets in the comic books. It was really nice to see it.
Yeah.
And yeah, basically, you know, that's kind of the end of the 2-page spread. They're like, Biollante comes, crash lands on it.
Bolton,
Bolton comes back, crash lands. It simultaneously brings his mother back, but also sends him to the past. Oh wait, no. That's when she first comes. They fight the Bolton. I'm totally pronouncing it wrong.
Bolton, like a bull.
Bolton.
Bull, like Bolton.
Like Michael Bolton.
Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, that's pretty. Basically, that's it. Yeah, Bolton.
So they have their one big final fight, and one of the key things from this series is that the Ultra transformation is not permanent. He has a limited amount of energy he can keep turning into Ultraman, and from all these fights, from Moriboshi draining him, he is just tapped out. So he does one big final attack. He basically explodes himself like Vegeta, like Majin Vegeta, and that's the thing that sends
Kato back, Mr.
Kato back, but then also sends his mother back to the past so that we can continue doing this time travel loop.
But his present self is also there too. Like it's weird. There's like two of them.
So the way he describes this, the way the time travel works, is that his present self now, when we get to a year from now, is the one that gets sent to the past, but the future one stays there.
Yes.
That's the way he describes it.
Yeah.
So
he has to like relive it twice, basically.
Yes, but also he gets to like remember, and the only reason he knows all this information is because the one from the future told him.
Yes.
So it's like a paradox. It just keeps looping over and over and over again. So, Shin Hayata's like, I have a year to change everything, and we can do things differently. And Ultraman's just like, do you want to do things differently? Like, if you hear the story as described, like, it sounds like we did a good job. We just don't make it.
Yeah.
We don't know if we make it. It's left very open-ended because that's where he gets sent back. So he never gets to see what happens to Ultraman. It sounds like we did a lot of good things. I don't think I'd want to change anything. And Shin's like, you know what? I don't want to change anything either.
Yeah.
So we know that that's what the future is going to be.
Yes. And then now that he knows that future and he knows what's going to happen, they reach out to the Land of Light. They let the father of Ultra know, hey, this is what's going to happen. We're going to need your backup one more time, maybe. And I might not be here anymore at the end of that battle. So then that's when Ace walks in and father of Ultra's like, listen, we might need you to take over watching humanity for the next ascension level, yada yada. And you're going to be the one to go there. And he's like, Ace is like, all right, well, I have the perfect host picked out already. And it shows Fuji, like, looking out at the sun setting. And that's the end. So, Fuji is the next Ultraman is going to be Ace.
Yeah, I really like this.
Potentially.
Because I think it leaves the series open. If they are going to ever come back, I don't think they are. This is just straight copium right now. But
yeah,
I think that like it's gonna be good. I would really like it, but I do like the ending. I thought they did the best that they could have. And yeah, I really think people need to read this issue. It's a quick issue. It's really great, and I think with the resources that they were left with, and just getting the one issue, I think that they did a commendable job.
Yeah,
I really do.
I mean,
I wish the messaging was a little bit more clear that this was a one shot, though.
Yeah, like I said, I had no clue this was a one shot. So when I finished it, I was like, oh, that's an interesting way to like end it. But then like it did say end, like it didn't say to be continued. And then I was like, huh. And then I go online and I just start seeing the word one shot everywhere, and I'm like, oh no, that is the end. Like, so at first I was a little annoyed that we got only one issue, but I'm like, after like thinking about it, I'm like, they did really wrap it all up. There is a lot of open endedness to this, so there is potential for it to continue. I just think that there's like I said, I think Matt and Kyle Higgins, they both two really busy guys, have a lot going on. Maybe they just didn't have the time for it. Maybe Marvel didn't want to do it. Nobody knows. Not faulting anyone here on it, but like I said, we enjoyed it. I think the Ultraman X Avengers arc was kind of like the weakest of the series, but yeah, I guess we'll have to see what happens in the future. We know this will all return in the Ultraman 60th Omnibus collection that's coming out this summer. Looks sick. It's going to have some of like the older comics, the non-Marvel stuff. It's going to have the entire Marvel run, so you don't need to worry about like picking up the separate trade paperbacks. You can pick it up in this nice chunky omnibus that's coming out. I mean, I have all the paperbacks.
Yeah, I'm pretty curious as to how big this omnibus is going to be.
Because it
Because
has a lot of comics in it.
Like, I own the 4 original series, And that's already pretty chunky.
Yeah. I mean,
that's not including this issue.
I mean,
so that's like another 25 pages, right? Or like about 25
to me, when
pages.
I think omnibus, I'm thinking it's gonna be like a textbook.
Yeah.
And it does pack currently, like, I think, like, the Amazon price is a little hefty. All these things usually go down, though.
What's the price right now?
I think it's like $1.20.
Yeah, I'd say it's about right.
Yeah, but
because does it come with Tiga?
No, it does not come with Tiga, which is something that.
And that's a 10-issue series.
That's something that
that'd be pretty big.
The Tiga series is, I don't know how they didn't continue. The art in there is incredible. It's something I didn't review for the channel. I did read it like 2 months ago, and it's just like haven't had a chance to review it. That Tiga comic series is so damn good. It is. The art is,
and it's due for a re-release.
The art is
crazy
incredible.
Right,
oh my god, yeah.
It was expensive when I got it for you. Was that like 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, maybe like 2 or 3 years ago.
It was decently expensive then. It was cheaper to buy the single issues because I ended up buying it for myself.
Oh,
a couple months later, I bought them as single issues.
And did you read it?
It was a lot cheaper. No, I didn't read it.
You're doing yourself a disservice, man. I regretted not reading it for so long because it's like the pile just grows up. You see the shelf there behind me.
I know
the top shelf right here, guys. This is all comics that I need to read here.
I know. Well, I have a whole bin over here.
And it's really just a figure there too, so it's not too bad. It's just like this stack right here above Ultraman's eyes and up is what I gotta read.
Yeah.
And there's some stuff back here behind this comic picture too. Actually,
it's just so hard because like. I was so motivated to read at the beginning of the year, like super motivated to read. I read One Massive Step. It's an indie book, reviewed it on our website.
Check it out.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to read a Godzilla 98 novelization. And that sucked the soul out of me. I didn't even want to look at a word for like weeks after that. It was so awful. It killed my motivation to read. So I've just been reading the comic books for the show since. But I got to pick up something again and read something for me.
Yeah. You should pick up the Random House books. Those are short, quick reads.
Yeah, I'm right now. I'm in the middle of the Raids Again, which is pretty good. That
I gotta finish that book. I only read the original. I never went back to read the Raids Again. I finished Mothra, which after watching the movie you should totally do after this, and that's a very quick read too. And it's a great book. But yeah, I think that about wraps it up on the Fall of Ultraman. I think we are going to move on to Starship Godzilla Issue 5 right now. This is the last one before the finale. It's pretty much seems like the finale is going to be our Battle of Hoth here. Or Empire Strikes Back, I feel like.
Yeah, no, I am hyped for this last issue. Prior to reading this, coming out of issue 4, I was kind of like, I like the series. I love the art. I love the concepts in it. But I felt very like, where is this going?
Yeah.
Like it seemed like a little, like it was building towards stuff, but it also seemed kind of aimless. After issue 5, I am like, when is issue 6 coming out?
Yeah.
Like it was really good, and now it clarifies where everything is going. We know what all the character motivations are. We know their reasons, and we're entering the final confrontation, which is exactly what we needed out of this issue. So it starts with these aliens, and they're like, yeah, we're all prepped for our final attack on these like rebels. And you just see like a million of those, like, I don't know what they're called, but I'm calling them iBots.
Oh yeah.
They have a whole bunch of them.
They call them probes. They refer to them as probes.
Yeah, probes. Yeah,
but they're like robots.
Probes.
Like they're like kind of like the probes that they send down in the Empire Strikes Back to Hoth. You know.
Yeah. Then we cut to Ion. She wakes up, and she's a little dazed, but like lifts there, and he's like, hey, like, are you doing okay, kid? Like, here, drink this. And then like next panel, it's like, she hit me in the face.
Yeah. Yeah,
because she remembered what happened.
Yeah, she got shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was Rohan who also shot Isla at the end of issue 1, who we all assumed was dead. But we learned in this issue that she is not dead. He stunned her just as he stunned Ion. He said he shoved her in an escape pod and shoved a bunch of credits in her pockets and sent her away. And he's like, as far as I know, she's probably in a bar right now spending all those credits. So we know she's alive. So I feel like she may potentially make a return next issue. Maybe she's on that Rebel base and we didn't realize it, or they didn't run into her.
Next issue or sequel series?
Or sequel series, yeah.
If this if they get one, I'm assuming they are.
He could have also potentially just created next arc's villain too. Like, maybe she could be like, what the hell? But I think right now these Zillions are gonna be the big villains going, like, if we have...
Yeah, I don't think this is getting resolved. I think the current confrontation is going to get resolved, but the Zillions as a whole is not going to get resolved.
I think they're literally like the Empire here. I mean, we're going Star Wars talk here. They're literally the Empire here.
Yeah.
Somehow they're going to return.
Yeah. So Ion's trying to make like this valiant, like, go through like the ship and everything, make the big save, all that good stuff. But it, while she's talking with Rohan, he's explaining like their motivations, like, hey, like, this ship bleeds money, we're so far behind, we don't like working with the Zillions, but your grandmother and I need to keep everything afloat.
They're like, we're like one bad day away from being done, like, that's it.
Yeah. So Ion's just like, she's not really taking that as like a reason. She's like, well, we don't need to. It's like all these innocent people are dying, and it's all blood money and all that stuff. So she's like trying to make the big save. Then of course she gets captured by the Zillions, and they're just like, we can just throw money at this. Like, this is fine. Like, you don't have to be angry at us. Like, here's a couple gold bars. Like, they're literally just flush with
They
cash.
give him like so much money. Like even Liff is like, this is the most money I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, but Liff, he stands up and goes, you know what? We don't need this. Ion's like, we're not going to take this. Rohan and the grandmother are a little bit on the fence, but they kind of come around to it. So Ion tries to make her big save. And then she gets shot through the arm with the Zillions.
And she gets shot for real this time.
Yeah. Real shot, like, through and through.
Yeah.
Through the arm. So, the grandmother's, like, cauterizing it. And, they're like, all right, well, we're off. Here's all the money. And just stay out of our way.
Yeah.
Thanks. Bye. You don't have to get shot again if you just don't go near us.
Yeah. So Ion's like, we're not giving up that easy, and the grandma's like, fine, if this is really what you want to do, we're gonna do the right thing, we're gonna do it. And then Rohan is also, she asks Rohan if he could do it, and we don't get his answer, but I'm assuming he's gonna say yes, because even he admitted that he didn't like them. He's might not be as bad of a guy as we thought he was the whole time. He really was like, kind of like, listen, we have no choice, we have to do this. If we want to survive, we got to do this. We have to help them. It was more of like he was doing this. All this was for survival and to keep the crew members together. And then we see, they have Space Godzilla just like covered in those might bots. So complete control. His eyes are even covered by the might bots. And pretty much the aliens are like almost like remote controlling Space Godzilla. And they're just bombarding the planet. It's not looking good down there for the Rebel base. And just as things can't get any worse, that is when Space Godzilla makes landfall on the planet. And just like a whole like D-Day platoon of just Zillions just storm out underneath Space Godzilla's feet. And it's just like, the Rebels are done here. Like, there's no no turning back, and it's to be continued at that moment there. So next issue, we're gonna get the Space Godzilla, Starship Godzilla matchup here. They're definitely gonna be fighting. I don't know if they're gonna win. The one thing that was a lore to last issue was when Ion was down below in that cave. There was the lava worms that were like dormant under the crystal on this planet. I feel like that's gonna make a play. Like they maybe with Starship Godzilla, they're gonna bust it up, and the lava worms are gonna team up with them to take down Space Godzilla. But
here's the thing with space. Oh, yeah, you say your thing.
I just still don't see like the rebels being like, oh yeah, we chased them away. Like they might be able to like thwart them and like slow them down a little, but I think it's still going to result in them having to retreat from this planet to another base. And one of the things that we forgot to mention is that they found this planet because Starship Godzilla was hit with Space Godzilla's, I guess you want to say Kai-sei atomic breath, space blast, or whatever you want to call it. I don't know what they call his breath, but apparently it leaves a specific energy signature, and they trace that Kai energy to the planet when Starship Godzilla landed there to drop off the rebels. So that's how exactly they knew where to go.
Yeah, I'm thinking that they don't need to beat Space Godzilla. They just need to free it from all those bots, and Space Godzilla is going to take care of the Zillions, or at least drive them off.
Yeah.
And then, like, they're on a crystal planet. Like, that's kind of Space Godzilla-y.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to find out what happens in the next issue. Hopefully it ends the same way Dead Zone did, with like a little tease for the next series. And we know we have the prequel series. I think since the last show that has now been announced is going to be a prequel series that tells the story of Godzilla's first day, the G-Day, when he attacked Japan in 1954 after the Kai-sei experiments. So we have that to look forward to. We know we have Revenge of the Dead Zone, and the mainline Godzilla series is still going. So there's a lot to look forward to, but I want to see where the Starship Godzilla crew goes next. So looking forward to that. Look out for our next review of issue 6 when that issue drops. We're going to be all over that, and we cannot wait for it, guys.
Yeah, no, super exciting. And I guess we're going to move on to Godzilla Kai-sei issue 8, our review of that. And this was a very unexpected turn in the story. I was not expecting this whatsoever. It is awesome, though, and I really hope that this is like what the series is kind of going forward. But yeah, do you want to take it away?
Yeah, I mean, so last issue we left off, Jason was unleashing the Godzilla Kai-sei energy and the Kai-sei energy form of Godzilla, fighting Anguirus, and he's just stomping Anguirus. And what's crazy about this intro is it starts with all the dialogue is Godzilla. We get Godzilla talking for the first time in this series, or probably almost any series in a long time, where you're getting Godzilla's voice here. He's just complete rage, talking about how he rose from the seafloor 70 years ago from the Kai-sei forces, and he's just beating the crap out of Anguirus, and just talking about how humanity is futile, and he's just screaming like, I am Godzilla. And then like he has this huge burst of energy, and like the anger kind of like snaps Jason out of it, and he's like, what the hell's going on? And he just like passes out. But like Godzilla was standing on top of Anguirus on this point, so Godzilla broke Anguirus's back and almost just executed Anguirus basically. Jason wakes up in a G-Force facility now. His arms are like bolted down to a chair. They have him restrained for his safety, but he still sees Godzilla. And this has been alluded to last issue and as well as issue 6 or is in the conclusion. But we find out in this issue, like, Godzilla is, like, there all the time for him. Like, and he's, like nobody else can see this Kai-sei energy form of Godzilla, but he's there now talking to Godzilla, and, like, the guys, like, observing him were like, who is he talking to? He did, I mean, I'm sure he realizes he's the only one that could see Godzilla, but, yeah. So he's talking to Godzilla, they're trying to kind of figure out what each other wants, and then we see Anguirus is in a San Diego facility, kind of just strapped up. Marco's there. They have Anguirus sedated, and Incense, Nuki, and Jet Jaguar are there. They're there to drop off Jet Jaguar to provide extra security, just to make sure nothing goes wrong with Anguirus. And they're all kind of like talking. Marco's asking if it's really true about Jason that he turned into Godzilla, and Nuki's like, yeah, and Incense is like, yeah, the guy's out of control. He's got a big ego, yada yada. And he's like, oh yeah, he said he was really nervous about the club because the club comes up, and he's like, oh yeah. Marco's like, yeah, Jason thought it was a date with him and Nuki, and Incense's like, what is he talking about? I was there. He's like, this guy beats one kaiju, and he's like, thinks he's a celebrity now. He thinks he's a big shot. Like, but yeah. So they're talking, and Incense is kind of like on like a rant, and they're not paying attention. And Anguirus starts to wake up. Nuki's the only one paying attention, and Jet Jaguar. Anguirus gets pissed and wakes up, and Jet Jaguar just like quickly like gives it a sucker punch to knock it back out to sleep. But they were like, "What the hell was that? I thought it was sedated." And Mark was like, "It's almost like something aggravated, like it smelled something that made it angry." And then Nuki's like, well, maybe he's just sick of listening to Incense's babbling. And then we cut to Rivera and Rumi. They're all like very formal, like dressed up in suits, like their military uniform. They're at the U.S. Regional G-Force Command post, and he's like super nervous. She's like, I've never seen you like this. And she's like, well, we're about to go see General Onishi, and apparently he was there during the first G-Day attack, the G-Force, when Godzilla attacked Japan in 1954, and he's like all like serious, and he hates Godzilla more than anyone. He's like, so now the general's gonna be pissed that Godzilla's not dead and now part of the G-Force. But it's actually quite the contrary. The general's like, you know what, now this is gonna show we beat Godzilla, and now his power is all ours. And he's like, now it's gonna. He's like, I want Jason out on the field. I don't want him off the team. I don't want you to step back. And like, it's funny because like Rumi and the Riviera are both like kind of like bickering, saying, no, it was my fault this happened. No, it's my fault this happened. I'm the commander. And then Onishi's like, listen, if neither of you want to take responsibility, I'll take over this team. And then Riviera's like, no, I'll do it. And when they leave the room, Rumi's like, what's that about? He's like, I don't want that guy being in control of Jason. He's like, we're the two best people to be in control of Jason. I don't trust that guy taking over. And then we jump back to the farmers that we started off this new arc with. And they're in the field cleaning up. They're digging the final grave for those marauders that were killed by those Biollante-like plants. And this is when we find out where May, the girl with the growth on her eye that looks like a flower, came from. So apparently they were having a rough year, and there were just invasive plants all over. So they decided to burn it all off. And they were burning away all the plants. And during this burn, Nancy, the farmer's wife, saw corn just start to grow out of the ground. And next to it was May, and that's where they found May. But also, the farmer, Rob, reveals, he's like, the plants and being invasive weren't the only things. He's like, I saw a hole in the ground. He's like, I thought we had some sort of critters. I stuck my hand in and got cut. And he's like, I know. He's like, it was from. He's like, I also got another cut today, and it was from the rose vines. He's like, I think it was those roses. He's like, I think it has something to do with May. But May interrupts the two of them talking, and it's like, I need to talk to the two of you, and she looks really pissed, kind of. And now there's a kaiju attack going on in Houston. We jump back to the G-Force here, and the G-Force is dispatched. It's Ebirah attacking Houston, and it's trying to head north. This is like a recurring theme that's going to come piling on here now. And
yeah,
it's like
next couple pages, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, so they're like, but Ebirah's a sea monster, and there's nothing but desert for miles north. Where is Ebirah going? Why? What does it want?
And then Manda pops up, which this design for Manda.
Oh my god!
It is so good. It's like, it's the sea dragon that you wanted it to be.
Yeah, it's so like primal looking, and even Ebirah is just like, just looks like menacing. These designs, the panel with the two of them. I mean, honestly, I this is probably going to be the title card for the episode, I think. We might even use this as the title card for the episode. It is such a badass panel with Ebirah and Manda. And they're like, what the hell is going on? Now, Manda, a second sea monster, is also trying to head north. So Incense starts on fire and kind of like makes a wall and burns them off. Now they're kind of pissed, like, we can't get north because of this fire. And they start just fighting each other because they're pissed.
So he's like, give me a ring, Incense. So Incense literally surrounds the two sea monsters in a ring of fire, and he's like, yeah, we're just gonna let these two fight it out, and we'll throw them out of here once they're done. And once he says that, as soon as he's like, finishes his sentence, Rodan pops in. And he's like, "What? Like, what's going on here?" And Incense is like, "I can't do anything against Rodan. He's gonna put out our. He's just gonna put out my fires." And he's like, "But Rodan shouldn't be here. He used to just always monitoring its nest.
Yes,
on Monster Island.
So Monster Island does exist in the Kai-sei Universe. That is a big one too.
Yeah."
And we know there's potentially other Rodan here now, too, in the universe. And we have seen that, like, weird flying creature that Mother A was flying on in Dead Zone. So that could have potentially... It looked Rodan-esque. So that could have potentially been, like, a Rodan hatchling or something.
It's possible. But then we kind of cut back to...
the farm.
The Biollante. Yeah, there you go. The farm. And the chick's like, you guys loved me unconditionally, but now you're in my way. And like, super creepy. They're all tied up. They got vines wrapped around there. Like, they can't even say anything. It's like so creepy.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm going to start my Biollante army now.
Yeah.
And we see 3 new original kaijus in this, and they all have really cool designs.
There's...
So... Yeah, you want?
Yeah. So before we get into that, she says she's like, I've fully blossomed into Biollante, and she's like, and the news is going on, and she's like, you guys never hurt me, and I will never hurt you. So she's just gonna have him captive. She's like, but the news showed me Godzilla still lives. She's like, I need to take my place as queen of the monsters. So like, she wants to be like the alpha.
Yeah.
And clearly, I can't pull out a map, but I'm assuming Minnesota is north. I'm really bad at geography here. I'm assuming Minnesota...
It's by the Finger Lakes.
Minnesota is north. So
yes, it's cold as hell.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the kaiju are trying to get to her. So we get 3 new Kaisei Universe kaiju revealed. No, actually 4 new. Yeah, 4. Yeah, right, 4? No, 3. 3.
One of them was Rodan.
Yeah, one of them was Rodan again. But this page is cool here. We get Sturga, which looks like a fish. I think I'm thinking sturgeon. It's supposed to be a sturgeon. Possible. That's in Minnesota, right? Not too far from where the farm is. That's rising and attacking a boat. Then the next one is Ursogar, which is a bear. It looks like a bear, almost like bobcat hybrid to me, the way like it looks. But it's got like spines coming out its back. It's towering over the buildings. It's massive. Then we get this black heart, which looks like a moose, but it's like just it's black. It's like all black. It looks like almost like it could be like made of goo.
It's like grungy. It's got like stuff growing off.
Yeah,
of
it's
it,
got like green
vines
glowing,
or whatever, like, hanging off, and like
it looks like
mangy.
Yeah, I don't know what it's made. It literally looks like it's made out of like tar. It looks like a moose that came out of tar. Like it almost like its face almost looks like a skull. Like it almost looks like a moose died in some tar, and then rose up with like green Kai-sei energy, and has like these like weird like spike things growing out of its neck, plus the horns, just dripping this like black goop. It's almost like a Hedorah moose, honestly.
Yeah.
And then we see Rodan again burning in Texas, and that's when Marcos goes in to Jason and says that he is needed in multiple fields right now. Kaiju are all over and on the move, and that's when Jason goes, "You hear that? The king of the monsters? Question mark. You're going to get what you want. The king is dead. Long live the king."
Yeah.
And Jason's going to get deployed onto the field. You got Rodan, Manda, Ebirah, and a host of new kaiju next issues. What they tease, will Jason be able to harness the power of Godzilla to stop these monsters without destroying himself in the process? This is absolute insanity. And the cover for the next issue shows like the Kai-sei energy Godzilla standing on top of Ebirah, Manda, and Rodan as well. So I'm assuming it's going to be a 3-versus-1 battle next issue. And I don't know how these other monsters are going to be handled, but I can't wait for it, man. I gotta say, this year one has been absolutely insane.
Yeah, I am very interested to see like how this second arc is going to go. I think Biollante's obviously gonna be the big bad in this, but they have other stuff, with Lament, and we don't know what's going on with Marcos, and there's like a lot of potential like branches where this could go, and it's just really interesting like to see like what they're gonna do with this. It's really tantalizing to see like what we're gonna get like with this Godzilla transformation that I guess that he's unlocked, like where in the series that we can go with this, and like how it's gonna impact potential spin-off series now that like the actual like Godzilla is not around anymore. Like there's like like we have the Godzilla Religion Society, like what's gonna happen with that. He was in he's in a facility in San Diego, which is that where they brought the Wanderer. Wasn't he in he's in San Francisco,
which isn't too
so
far,
not too far, but at the other end of the state kind of.
And like like the other question is, so you bring up the Church of Godzilla, like Godzilla's dead now do they like worship Jason? Like that's something that we're gonna have to see in like the Revenge of the Dead Zone series, like how that Church of Godzilla handles this. We still gotta know what's going on in the Dead Zone. Like we know that takes place sort of in the past. I don't know now if the Wanderer is like current day, if that was the end there. There's so many questions to be answered. What will happen when they finally make it to Minnesota? What will Marco do with all the corn? Is he...
It's a lot of corn.
Is he going to use it to summon Gigan? I think the corn is the key to this arc here.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Like, what if Biollante dies and a bunch of corn sprouts out, and then all of a sudden they're like, now is our opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
Earth now has the resources.
Yes. The black hole aliens.
It's got the juice.
The aliens from space hunt. What is it? The M aliens or whatever.
Yeah. M Hunter.
The M Hunter Nebula.
The Black Star and Hunter Nebula.
In search of corn.
Is corn.
Yeah, but yeah, that wraps up our Godzilla issue 8. And I think our next one is going to be Kaijus and Cowboys issue 7. This was a great issue. This starts off the second half of the series here now. It's a 12 issue series. Um, and, you know, we had our big, massive battle concluded in issue 6, where B-Wing was heading down into the caves after defeating that massive kaiju army. And Doc wants to tag along in this, but B-Wing kind of just shoots him down and is like, no, I want to do this on my own. He's like, I'm done with you. And Doc's kind of pissed off about that. But, you know, before I get further into this, what did you think of this issue?
I thought it was great. I honestly thought it was one of the best issues of the series so far. I liked the lore dump on it. I thought that the color work on it was absolutely fantastic, and I just feel like as they're doing these issues, like they're just hitting their stride more and more.
Yeah.
And you know, it was really again, they're always kind of quick reads.
Yes.
But even though this issue I felt like was a bit more story dense.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the first issue where we have B-Wing.
No real action, right?
Yeah, and B-Wing's talking the entire issue. Like, I mean, he started talking last issue, but like, there's a lot more dialogue than we have had in the past. Because most of the dialogue was Doc. And, you know, we get a ton of flashback. We get, like, kind of B-Wing's origin. And it starts to set up a lot of what we have suspected in this series.
Yeah.
And
so,
yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy to think that, like, the next issue, when 8 drops next month, that, like, once we read that, we're like 3/4 through the series, and then we'll be in like the last quarter of the series here.
Yeah, no, it is pretty crazy. I mean, it's you know, I feel like we've come a long way in just a few short years that we're on issue 7, and you know, I feel like we're turning towards the climax of the series.
Yeah.
Already, where like we're finally getting like the, hey, like this is what's really happening here. That's gonna probably be like the next issue, and then the 4 issues after that are gonna be the resolution.
Yeah, I feel like it is let's dive into this one now. So like I said, we're left off. Doc's like, hey, like you just gonna dumb me off like that? He's like, I'm like, I'm intelligent. I want to learn, and B-One's like, he's like, you served your purpose. Leave now. He's like, don't. And then he's like, really? He's like, what's been going through your mind with these mindless beasts and all that? And B-One's like, don't talk about them like that. And then Doc's like, since when did you start talking about those monsters like they're one of us? And like B-Wing gets really pissed and aggressive. He's like, you really want to know why I don't want bots like you around? And then we get a little flashback now. He's like, he was one of the first, which we all know, one of the first hunter bots dispatched to the planet. He's like, it started off as peaceful exploration on the planet. He's like, it was fascinating, it was wonderful, but something changed. And you see, like, they show like Father Mind looks like a crazed, like, madman there. And he's like, then he began telling us to kill everything, every living thing in sight. He's like, I've seen bots like you mindlessly tear the world apart to shreds, and I hate it. So he doesn't like killing the kaiju. And this is where we learn that he kind of blacks out when he fights the kaiju. He's not in control. He kind of just comes to, and he's just surrounded by kaiju corpses. He's like, and then Doc's like, don't you dare. And he's like, what? He's like, when I joined you, he's like, I wanted to learn about the planet too. He was like, you're not the only one capable of curiosity. And he's like, now put me down. And he's like, thank you. He's like, what you're describing, these blackouts, he's like, it sounds like you have like a fighting override, like some sort of like code that takes over. He's like, let me see if I can get it out of you. So Doc like connects to his head, finds it. He sees some flashbacks of all the killings. He's like, wow. He's like, you've been doing this a long time. And he just sees B-Win surrounded by like a field of corpses. And he gets the like override command out of B-Win's head. So now the combat protocol isn't there anymore. So now all the fighting is going to be on B-Win's terms, which is going to be pretty interesting from here on out. Are his skills going to be as sharp? Because like back then he was on autopilot. Are they going to be sharper? That's a big question to wonder what's going to happen going forward. And B-Win's kind of offline though now. He's still kind of got to like reboot because all the software got changed up on there. So he's like, oh great. He's like, the guy's still out of commission here. And then the ground starts rumbling. He's like, great. Now of course the kaiju show up, and then all these kaiju are coming into the cave. He's like, oh great. He's like, that's it. He's like, I'm done. And he's like kind of like shielding B-Win. And as they're about to get near him, there's a roar and they stop attacking. And that's when the steed comes in. He's like, it's you. And then it sniffs B-Win and he's like, oh, he's still offline. And then he gives a roar and he's like, what are you doing? And next thing you know, there's this huge rumble and these two gigantic eyes just appear. And we find out that this is like the planet's core. And it's calling him like a trespasser and saying all these terrible things have happened because of your kind. And he's like, the reason we spare this one is because the steed was saved by B-Win back when it was only an infant. And it's been kind of like a spy for this planet core since, just kind of observing. And it's kind of vouching for Doc as well. I'm wondering like if like the bots, these kaiju seem to sort of have like a hive mind, because if it's spying on the behalf of this like this giant like pink, always sees eyes, it's just like a pink glowing. It almost looks like an energy entity floating in the sky. It's like, I will tell you what happened, and if you want to know. And he's like, but I'm going to tell him too. And Doc's like, I want to know too. So they kind of like link up with B-Win's head. And he's like, well, let us show you who we are and where we came from. And then it goes black. And that's the end of the issue. So I think in next issue, we're going straight into the kaiju flashbacks, where they came from, their origins.
I feel like that's what the cover art is. Or even if this is a cover art, or if this is the like a page in it that I've been seeing for the comic book.
It shows like this big like blue. It looks almost like I always forget the name of those things. Those water bear things. The
targrade.
Yeah, it looks like a targrade. Yeah, the targrade. It almost looks like that, and then you see like the like almost like a holographic Doc and B-Win like watching this flashback. So we're gonna get some kaiju flashbacks here, and I think we're gonna get like a ton of answers. I mean, just this one issue was a huge lore dump. We see that like B-Win had no control, that it started off as a peaceful thing, and it looks like maybe Father Mind got like infected by a virus. It could be something simple as that, and like he just started this whole chain of violence. Like maybe Doc's just got to connect to Father Mind and fix Father Mind.
Yeah,
and they'll just
something's definitely got corrupted about Father Mind, or this is the intention the whole time. We don't know, but it does seem. I mean, this issue heavily implies that like not only is this planet sentient, there is a possibility that this planet might be a giant kaiju.
Yes.
I think it's more than possible. I think we're going to get some pretty deep lore in this next issue. And I would say at the end of issue 8, we probably know like what is actually going on here. And maybe we'll find out what's going on with Father Mind, but we're at least going to figure out like from the kaiju's perspective, like what's going on here.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when they were showing like some of the kaiju that were being hunted by the bots in like the flashbacks of Bot with No Name's when they were like mind melding. I don't know if it's just me inferring or what. I feel like some of those kaiju designs seemed a little bit more or less monstery than the ones that we've seen throughout the series. Like maybe those were like the like original like less monstery inhabitants of the planet.
Yeah, like the first one looks almost like a frog man. Then you see he just smashed like a bug. It looks like almost like Mothra eyes and bug guts. And then it's just like a bird.
Like maybe like what's left is like the planet's defense system, like its immune system trying to like fight off these invaders.
Yeah, and you also see like the like he said there was just like a graveyard of kaiju under B-Wing's feet, just like corpses, like so many dead skulls, like it's like filled. Like B-Wing killed a lot of kaiju. It looks like so he killed a lot of stuff. So who knows? It could be like just generations upon generations of dead kaiju at B-Wing's hand. Really cool. It's April is going to be the issue 8 campaign, and it wasn't the 3/4 mark, it's the 2/3 mark of the series. Issue 9 will be the 3/4 mark. I was not mathing right there, but yeah, really cool. One of the things I'm most excited about is picking up some new sketch cards from Frankie B for this. I mean, I love the comic, and I can't wait though to get my sketch cards there. I pretty much know what I'm going to be getting there already. I'm doing 2 this time around, and I think I'm going to, going forward, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to do 2 cards per campaign, so pretty hyped for that. And looking forward to issue 8. We're going to link up that campaign down below in the description, so be sure to click that, support it. If there's reviews live before the campaign's live, the pre-launch is going to be at that link, and that will also be where you can support it. Sign up for pre-launch so you know when it goes live. I don't know the exact date yet in April, but I feel like it's going to be like the first or second week of April. We will find out. If we get an exact date, we'll post that in the description as well. Yeah. But
and it also looks like they have, as part of this campaign, it looks like they're going to be offering like a remastered version of their Team KS1.
Oh, really? I
like a colorized version of that.
I did not see that.
Yeah, Team KS1. It looks like they're going to be having a colorized version from what I see posted.
Where did you see that?
Frankie B. Washington's Twitter.
Oh, wow. Now, I mean, I really love that.
He's posted a couple pages with color on it.
I really loved that comic. That little, like, it was something from years ago that they used to tie into this universe. And it was such a great, like, spin-off. I absolutely love that. I'm really excited about that. I will absolutely be picking that up to add to the collection.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, that was such a good series. I was like a good comic that, like, connected to this. I was like, I would love a whole series of this Team KS1. Maybe once this is issue 12 is done here and wrapped up, that's what we'll see next. I don't know. But yeah, looking forward to the campaign, and I hope you guys supported Frankie B, Matt Blair on the story. He's really like paced this out like pretty incredibly. I mean, when you look at an indie comic that's done 7 issues, that's really incredible. I mean, it's been years. I mean, it was since 2020 at this point now. I feel like I remember reading issue 0 while waiting.
I think that was like 2021-ish.
No, I'm pretty sure it might have been 2020, because I remember sitting at a CVS drive-thru to get COVID swabbed.
Oh, really?
Because we had to do like, I forgot. Yeah, I don't know if I was sick or if it was for work, but I remember sitting in the drive-thru on my break, waiting in line to get COVID swabbed, reading issue 0 in the car. So I think it was 2020. I think it was like spring 2020 issue 0 dropped.
It could have. I mean, we were doing the podcast at that time.
I mean, if you think about it, so we got, this is actually issue 7. Issue 0 technically makes us 8 issues, plus Team KS1. You got 9 issues. This is really an impressive feat for indie series. It's really, really good on them. And it's like, they're just so close to the finish line on this. I can't wait. I think they're doing 2 a year. So we still have a couple more years. But it's incredible, though. We love this series, and we're looking forward to seeing it through.
Yeah, no, super excited for it, and yeah, best of luck to the Cambrian Comics guys, and good luck on the campaign. We'll be there day one to support it. Yeah, and I guess we're going to be transitioning over to the first episode of Monarch, season 2. It was a great opener to the series.
Yeah. I would say, in my opinion, I thought it was actually one of the best episodes of the entire series. Now, it's been a while since season 1, but I just don't think I remember any episode that was as insane as this episode. I thought this episode was great.
Yeah. They took what could have easily been something that they would have stretched in another streamer series, would have stretched out an entire season out of what we got in this episode. I feel like,
yeah,
because it's just
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
they're we're gonna spend a whole season getting this guy back.
Yeah,
we're gonna build up this mystery for a whole season, and we're gonna do this. So it immediately kicks off where we left off on the series. They get back, and immediately I noticed that there's some different things than I was expecting from where we left off from the first season. It seems like Apex and Monarch are working together right now.
Yes.
There's like Apex is like a contractor for Monarch
that helped them come back through the rift here.
Yeah. So, last season, I feel like kind of the way that they implied it was that they were all leaving Monarch to go work for Apex because Monarch wasn't going to do anything.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I just kind of misunderstood what they said in the series or if that was a bit of a rewrite, looking forward, actually, maybe we should have Monarch involved with this. I'm not sure, but they came back. The first thing I noticed was all the Monarch uniforms and all the Monarch jets and everything. So they come back and Kong's going crazy. They have to rush onto the helicopter. They fly away and they get onto the ship that they're on. And the way that they do this is, at first I thought this was a dream sequence, but she wakes up and she's all dazed and stuff, and they have all the guys in the lab coats Dr. Rhonda, we're gonna be just performing some medical exams on you. You're on a Monarch ship. And then she spills out, very similar to Lee Shaw's coming to moments.
Yeah.
In the series, he spills out, runs in, and then we see, she gets out onto the boat and she sees all the sea over there. And then her son comes out and he's like, hey, we're okay, everything's fine. She's like, where are we? And he's like, we're at Monarch. And it zooms out.
That's gigantic.
Shows off the big boat.
It's just a big boat.
Outpost 18.
Yeah. So, last we saw, we had Lee Shaw, Kurt Russell, stayed behind, sacrificed himself. So, right off the bat, Kate's we got to go back to get him. We got to go back to get him. That's, the whole theme this episode. You're oh, this is going to be, honestly, this is, what you were probably saying could have easily been a whole thing.
That could have been a whole season.
It could have been the whole theme of the season. We got to go back to get Lee. We got to bring him back.
They're why don't we just do that right now?
Yeah, they're no, we can't go back because that's what the whole project to bring them back through the rift is what aggravated Kong. So it seems, and they're the only access points back on the island, and the whole thing was destroyed. It's not ideal. Kate's dad is he's we spent so much time with the ideal conditions. He's I don't even know if we could do it right with these crappy conditions. But Kate's like, listen, you're either with me or against me. Monarch's like, absolutely not. But her, Ken, her dad, and Kentaro, they like, you know what, we're going back to the island. May goes with them as well. They sneak off Monarch. They take a boat through the storm wall around Skull Island. Like, apparently it's like a door that opens and closes.
So sometimes it's open. It could be closed for a while.
Like, they were able to like drive the boat through. Like it was like a little inflatable boat, like a life raft that they drove through, no problem. Like, I remember like in the Skull Island movie, like helicopters were crashing. It was just complete utter chaos, and they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna casually just drive this boat like 4 regular people.
But now they know, like, when that veil opens.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Maybe during then the veil wasn't open enough, or it wasn't open properly. They've had, like, 60 years to research this.
That's true.
Maybe not 60, but, like, they've had a long time to research this at this point.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a theme throughout the episode. They're like, oh, it's closing, we gotta, like, get there quick. So
it's been, like, what, 30 years, I think, technically? 30, 40 years?
Since, yeah. Yeah.
Because Kong was in, like, the 80s?
70s, I believe. I think.
70s. You know, I'm just trying to imagine how long it takes Durs to age to be John Goodman.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, the aging in these things is a little weird.
Yeah, he went to the reverse Mundi.
Yeah. Yeah.
He got aged up.
Yeah, the reverse. So, yeah, they get on the island. They're like, listen, it pissed Kong off. Luckily, they get on the island. Kong's not there. He's sleeping. And they kind of make their way through the jungle. They encounter a psycho vulture that's shooting out like electric. We've seen the vultures before in Godzilla vs. Kong. We saw the vultures in the Hollow Earth. This is the first time we're seeing the psycho vulture. The psycho vultures appeared in the comics, the graphic novels. The psycho vulture has the ability to shoot like out electric beams. We see one of those. They dodge it in the jungle. They sneak past Kong. Kate almost gets crushed by Kong's hand. And then back on the ship, we have Tim and Keiko. Tim's like, you know, he's like, yeah, he's like Dr. Miranda. And she's like, you know, all my life, like, by being a doctor, I was never referred to as Dr. Miranda because I was a woman. Like, she's like, and like, she's like, well, this is all you. Like, this is your legacy. And then like replaying.
Randa, not Miranda.
Yeah, that's right, Matt. Randa. They're replaying like the attack, and she's like, "What's that?" And like he zooms in, and then sees like little like you see some sort of creature is running by in the chaos, and that's when we get
it's a Kabuto.
Yeah. Well, that's when we get the flashbacks to the Keiko, Wyatt Russell, young Lee Shaw days, and Will Randa young days. Their adventures continued. They're in like, where were they? Like they were in like Vietnam or like
No, they're somewhere in South America.
Oh, South America. Oh yeah, you're right.
They're speaking Spanish.
Oh yeah, that's true. They were taught. No, because you know what? I'm getting thrown off now because of the.
Because they were talking about Pulgasari.
Yes, they brought up Pulgasari, and that threw me all off there now. Yes, they were in South America, and they get to this village. And the guy on the boat just like that took him and just gets the hell out of there. It's like this little island, and like in the middle of town, it's like clearly like a sacrificial altar. And there's even like 2 posts like from like the Kong movie where they would like tie somebody up. Oh, sorry, Rodan. And they're like, oh,
must be where they kill
they're like, maybe this is where they just take care of the catch of the day. They clean up their fish here, and they're like, yeah, sure. Then they go into this bar, and the guys are just all just like silent and like staring at them. And over the counter, there's this horseshoe crab looking thing.
But it's like blue and got 2 spikes, like 2 tails at the end, and it's extra spiky. And
to me, this is the MonsterVerse version of Chakras from like Godzilla 1985.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It's like, oh, like these like, I mean, they had them in the original movie too. It's like, oh, like he's bringing up these like ancient things that we thought were extinct.
Yeah.
there's got to be like a pocket that he was in.
Yeah.
Like it's the same concept type of thing.
Yeah.
But it's this is for their kaiju in that village.
They worship this like god, the kaiju.
Yeah, it's called. So I'm not gonna bother trying to pronounce the Spanish pronunciation because I'm gonna butcher it, but it translates to Great God of the Sea. I don't know do you want to go over like the full retro, like what happened in the past, or like do you want to just get to the end point?
We can get to the end point. Yeah, it's basically there's a sketchy.
Essentially,
Okay.
Yeah. So essentially, like the bartender's like trying to like help, like trying to get them out of there to be like, hey, like this isn't safe. But she's like, I'll show you, and if I show you, you have to leave. So they go into this cave, and there's a bunch of, I'm just gonna call them trilobites because that's what they look like, on the wall. They're all fossilized, and she's like, the fishermen worship this god here because it brings in the spoils from the sea, and then we see it's like a cave carving of a fish-like kaiju with tentacles, and we cut back to present day, and this keeps going back and forth, but now we're gonna go up to present day. They go back to Skull Island. They open up the Mundi. Lee Shaw gets in there. All these trilobites are like rushing to get out of the Mundi, and he gets back inside of the Monarch pod that brings them back.
But while this is all happening, there's this mountain that's crumbling, and that kaiju is revealed, and he realizes what that kaiju is because he's seen the cave painting in the past, and that comes out before he does. And
that is going to be Titan X, which is the main villain of the series.
Yeah. And
which I thought that was a cool reveal, that like, hey, like this isn't just like some like we pulled it out of nowhere. Like it makes sense that this is a kaiju that hasn't interacted with Godzilla or Kong because it lives in the Mundi. And
it's been like encrusted in it for some reason.
Yeah, it like comes in and out. And
from the Mundi being like opened up, it's like sucking everything up like a vacuum, so it's kind of like dissolved in the mountain.
Yeah. So yeah, it dissolved the mountains. All the a few trilobites I'm sure got through, but they didn't really show that. But Monster X comes out, then it spits out the pod. Lee gets bitten by one of the trilobites because he like kills it in there, but I don't know if that's gonna like do anything in like future episodes.
It felt like that whole fight with him stabbing it in the eyes was like very reminiscent of like the opening of 85 when they're fighting the chakras on the ship. He's like stabbing it, and then the guy comes in with the spear. Nobody came with the spear here, but it was very reminiscent of that fight with this thing on his chest, and he's like stabbing it. But yeah, the current director of Monarch, she gets deputy director. She gets snuffed out by Monster X, just like that. Tentacle smacks her.
Yeah,
She's
because I think the current director is like Millie Bobby Brown's dad.
Yeah,
but like Monsterverse human characters besides in Monarch are so disposable.
Yeah,
like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Like, oh, everyone complaining that Godzilla's in this series when he's not supposed to pop up again. Oh, I'm gonna look for all the fucks I give about that continuity error.
Yeah,
like it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
people complain about nothing. I think this is the best the Monsterverse has to offer storytelling wise.
Yes,
and for everyone who complains and says, "Oh, they don't do good human stories," and then they watch the Monsterverse, oh, where was all the kaiju fights?
Yeah,
too much human story in this.
Yeah.
I'll watch it for the monster fights. I don't watch it for the humans.
Yeah, so this seemed like they're really trying to balance it, though. We got a ton of monster this episode.
Ton of monster, ton of story. So Monster X comes through. Deputy Director gets killed. Lee Shaw's back out. They get in the helicopter. Kong destroys the portal to the Mundi. And he's chasing down Monster X. Monster X Titan X gets into the ocean, and then Kong does one of these and like looks at the helicopter like, what the hell, guys?
He's literally the episode literally ended with Kong going, what the hell was that shit? He was like,
what did you guys do?
And the thing is, this Monster X,
you had one job.
If you pay close attention, this Monster X gets in the water and like puts on like turbojets too. Like it's got like this crazy super speed swimming ability. Like it launched like a rocket. Like once it got underwater, it like just like torpedoed away. Like Kong probably could have like kept up with it a little, but this thing shot like a rocket once it hit the water. Like it was gone. Like it like went into like hyperdrive.
Yeah, if the island was bigger, he would have caught up to it.
Yeah, so I believe this Monster X is going to be like the primary focus of this season, which is really cool. Gonna like really look forward to seeing like more of like the flashbacks of them exploring that. One of like the aspects of it, like I just forgot like how like good like that like flashback like crew was like. Back in season 1, that was like sometimes some of my favorite parts of the series were like the past like acting group.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely like a great part of the series.
Yeah, and I feel like with this Lee Shaw like Cold War series spinoff that they're doing, I feel like that's gonna be like almost like an experiment to be like, could this work as like not just the flashbacks but a full series now? And I think
so. What I wonder with that is like, when does that take place?
Well,
is that going to be after he comes back from the Mundi?
It's gotta be because it's like Cold War times.
Yeah. So then my response to that is that when we get Pulgasari?
Yeah.
I don't think they want to throw like a country's cultural like folktale monster in as like the communist kaiju.
True.
Especially since there's like a whole group of people that aren't communist and still like it's still part of someone's culture. But I was like in my head I was like a little bit like, they mentioned Pulgasari and then they're doing this Cold War thing. Are he gonna go to North Korea?
You never know.
It's possible.
Yeah. I mean, that's something to look forward to. And, it's pretty crazy to think about it. So this season 1 started, like, in late 2023, and then it went into 2024. So if you think about it, the season 1 premiere was over 3 years ago at this point now, almost.
Which is kind of crazy.
Well, not over 3 years ago, because it was late 2023, and we're, like, early 2026. So it was like 2.5 years ago. We're almost at 3 years, which is a long gap between this series. So to be a little fuzzy on it, it's
movie
justified.
Quality production.
Yeah, because then, Anna Sawai went on to do the last Shogun, the Shogun series, and she won the big awards for that. And then, then we had
Wyatt Russell's like in the Avengers and all that stuff.
Yeah, then we also had of the New Empire in between. So it wasn't like there was a lack of MonsterVerse content. And what's pretty cool is when this series ends, that Monarch graphic novel is going to be dropping, like just like that. I think it comes out in June. I want to say June, July. You got to check the pre-order list on our comic article that we have, our monthly pre-order, our monthly release list. It's there in the pre-order section, the Monarch graphic novel. That's dropping shortly after this. And there's also the Monarch Files, which is like a guidebook to the MonsterVerse too. That's dropping. Some really cool stuff. A lot of like MonsterVerse supplemental. And then Supernova, that's at the end of this year, right? Is that this year?
It's this year, yeah.
It's insane. Then we have -0. There's still so much like...
Or is it... It might be -0...
Yeah, -0. Yeah, -0. Yeah, next year.
Because they can't do the same year.
Yeah, so it's going to be -0 November, and then I think Supernova, I'm thinking is like February, March. So pretty much a year from now.
Yeah, because it was the same thing when the last movies came out. They can't do the same year.
Yeah, so this is going to be really, really cool. We're going to have a ton of kaiju, like TV, movies. Like, I feel like last year was kind of quiet.
Yeah, no, it was a bit quiet last year, and I think we're going to go back into like an upswing.
Yeah.
This year and next year.
Yeah.
And then we'll probably have another quiet year after that.
Unless we get a Gamera
unless
movie.
Unless they do Troll 3.
Or Gamera. We gotta get some Gamera.
I would love to, but they just had their anniversary and they did nothing. Literally nothing.
Oh.
You can get their manga in English now.
Yeah.
Right?
The first one.
Yeah.
And then we're probably gonna wait like another year for the second one.
Yeah. You know, honestly, like, if they are gonna do anything with Gamera, just throw them in a Monarch season. Like, I think Toho owns the rights.
There was the distribution rights for the DVDs at the time. I don't know who has it.
They can get it for cheap because no one's using it anyway. It doesn't make money. They would pay that. They would pay Legendary to use Gamera. Just be like, please, just like link our merch store.
Oh, poor Gamera. I love Gamera.
Could you imagine the hype that like actual like kaiju fans would have if they did somehow insinuate that Gamera and Godzilla exist in the same universe?
It would be.
They don't even need to share the screen.
Yeah.
It would be insane.
Yeah. I really hope Gamera gets this moment again. Rebirth.
I don't know when it's gonna happen.
Rebirth.
It's gonna happen.
It's an alright anime. It was good. I enjoyed it, and it got snubbed for a second season. You know, it's not happening.
Yeah. You know, Gamera. I think it's such a cool idea for a kaiju in a series and the whole lore behind it. I do wonder sometimes. And this is only because like I've watched a few of the Gamera movies kind of recently, over the last 2 years. Do you think it's the roar?
What about it?
It's annoying. It's grating on the ears. Once or twice is fine. But when they're spamming that thing during a fight,
they do spam it a bit. You know, they do.
It's grating on the ears.
But you know,
it really is. It's like an elephant.
You're
dying.
also talking like the Showa too. We've watched the Showa ones. Yeah. I mean, the Heisei ones would deserve a good rewatch, as well as the Brave.
We have to do a Heisei series. I know we talked about doing Mothra this year, like doing this and then Rebirth and like all the Rebirth series.
Yeah. We
got to do like a Heisei Gamera series
where
we do those 3 movies.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
You know, it's like sometimes I think it's that like people are just like, oh, like that. Use it every once in a while, like when he comes in, like it's off screen. You hear that roar, you're like, oh my god, it's Gamera. But then like don't like do a different sound for like the rest of it. That doesn't sound like an elephant dying.
You know what? Now that I can't unhear it that you said. Yeah.
You know, it might be blasphemy. Maybe we'll get some hate comments for that, but I think it's true. Honestly, I think it turns people off.
Oh boy, yeah.
Like even Godzilla, in like the newer movies, he doesn't do the Godzilla roar all the time.
Yeah. It's weird. Like, you wouldn't want to...
It's his intro.
Yeah.
Roar. It's his hero sound.
Yeah, it's like a war call.
Yeah, like, you don't always get that Godzilla roar.
Yeah. No, you're right.
You know?
It's like other sounds. And it's more modernized, you know? Like, back in the day, they didn't have, like, a billion different sounds for the monster.
Yeah, I know. And it was fine back then. Yeah. But I feel like you say that as, like, it's hero noise.
Yeah. No, you're right. 100%.
Yeah.
It's like the war call.
Yeah. And that's what's gonna give goosebumps.
Exactly. It's true. If they just hit it once instead of constantly.
If they did Supernova, right? And Godzilla and Kong are just getting their ass beat, right? All hope looks lost. And they have like some random kid there that's like about to get squashed by Space Godzilla, and then from off screen you hear the Gamera roar.
You would go nuts.
Tell me the theater does not go crazy.
Oh my god, it goes absolutely insane. It goes apeshit.
Tell me there's not like popcorn buckets getting thrown and like it's like when Captain America got the hammer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would be that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, Gamera would be like, on your left.
Yeah.
No, it would be epic. I mean, that's what everyone dreams of. Who knows?
Yeah, and like it's just a problem that gets solved with money. I mean, it's not like it's like this otherworldly, like it can never happen thing. It's a dead property.
Yeah, basically right now. I mean, like they refuse to like really revive it. Like they're like doing like HD remasters. There's allegedly something in the works. They've been saying for a long time. What is it?
It's had your anniversary. That's came and gone.
Yeah. I don't know.
I feel like that's the time you do it because that's when people are waiting for an announcement.
60, yeah.
I mean, yeah, like some 4K scans are nice. I mean, I'm not going to complain about that, but like, it's not a new movie.
Yeah, no, that's what we want.
Netflix anime series. Please, Netflix, stop doing kaiju-based anime series because you just don't stick with them.
Yeah, don't do it if you're gonna kill it, please. I'm just tired of it. Yeah. So sorry. I'm glad the Kong series got a continuation with the 2 comic series, which is cool.
I wonder if they're gonna reference any of that stuff. I did not watch.
It is
or read.
It is canon to the monster.
It is canon. You know, I wonder if they could reference any of it in Monarch or pick up any storylines that like or characters that they aren't using. They can cast them or. No. I don't know anything about the series. Yeah. So I can't really comment on that.
Yeah, it was a great series. I really enjoyed it. But, you know, everyone, when it comes to the MonsterVerse, everyone's very divisive on it. You can't please everyone, apparently. But, yeah, I thought that was a great series. And, you know, I think the MonsterVerse has just been great. It's done a lot for kaiju films in general. And it's kind of like got us in, like, this golden age. So, say what you will about it. The movies might not be perfect, but it's doing a lot for the fandom.
Yeah, the movies aren't perfect. A lot of the lore doesn't match up one entry to the next. But I also think it's a movie series that was kind of cobbled together. Like they released 2014, and it did all right, but it had its complaints.
100%.
And then they were like, "All right, like we're gonna put out this Kong movie." Kong was next, right?
Yep.
We're gonna put out this Kong movie. It did pretty good. People liked it. It was very loosely connected to the Godzilla movie.
Yeah.
Very loosely. Did pretty good. Let's go back to Godzilla. Let's see if we can do better. So they put out the Godzilla one. Did great. All right, it's time to do Godzilla versus Kong now. Well, that did good. That could have been the end of the series, but they were like, it did good enough that we're going to do Godzilla Kong New Empire and a Apple TV series and a Kong anime.
Yeah.
And, you know, now we're getting Monarch Season 2.
That movie, like, revived the movie theaters during COVID, too. That was, like, the first, like, big screen movie back in, like...
Yeah. It was. It was definitely, like... the first thing. I mean, I think Spider-Man No Way Home was the big one that actually got a mass market of people to go.
It caused the second wave of
COVID. It did. 100% did. But
everyone got COVID for Christmas that year.
Godzilla Kong like kept the lights on.
Yeah.
Because people were like, let's do a Godzilla party. Yeah. Like, we'll get a couple close friends, we'll rent out a theater. Yeah. And we'll all see the movie together. Like it really was a great thing. You know, like it was great.
Yeah, 100%.
It was a really good movie, and yeah, if the lore wasn't perfectly set up to do a movie to movie thing, like whatever. Like you're getting more Godzilla. Who really cares if he wasn't supposed to appear in this year? Does it really matter? Maybe it was a big government cover up. They don't want you to know about it.
Exactly.
But yeah, I guess we're going to move on to our main event, and that is going to be our review of Mothra, 1961, the original film. Really a great movie. I wish there was more kaiju action.
Yes.
But I really wish I had the time to have watched the English commentary on this, because I feel like politically there was a lot of things this movie was trying to say.
So the book, it's a lot more straightforward, blatant. Especially the English translated, the Luminous Fairies one. I'd say like 40% of the book for the Luminous Fairies and the Mothra is the story. The story's only like 90 pages, and then like you got like 110 pages, or I don't know the exact page number, but I'm exaggerating here, of like all backstory on how the story came to be, and it was a lot of political stuff, tons of political stuff, but at the time, Toho didn't want to go crazy with that. Like, one of the statements that was said to the writers was that about all the political stuff at the time was like, that sounds like an independent production, which basically meant, yeah, that's not going to get funded. So the political stuff gets like toned way down. It's still very present there, like, but it's not as in your face, like blatant, and it's.
I felt like it was a direct statement to political events that are happening right now.
I mean, history repeats, man. History repeats.
I was watching this movie and I was like, Japan got dragged into a disaster because some other country decided they were going to do something. And the Japanese government wasn't going to get involved until the giant monster was already there.
So that country, Rasilica, was a combination of Russia and America at the time because of the whole Soviet Cold War thing going on. So
yeah, but like their flag was a giant golden eagle with red and white stripes underneath it. Gee, I wonder what country they were trying to represent.
Yes, and the stars, yes. But it was really Russia and America at the time.
And they spoke perfect
American
did. English.
Yes. Well, I forgot what the name of the city for the final battle is in the book.
Newkirk.
Yes, well...
Newkirk City.
Yeah.
Which looked like a combination of like San Francisco and New York.
Yes.
But then like when they went to the town, it looked like Eastern European village.
Yes.
That no place in America looks like that.
Yes. The town across the water, yes. It's like I said, it's supposed to be a combination of both. But yeah, there's just so much going on. A lot of differences from the book and here. The Luminous Fairies and Mothra book, especially the English translation, is absolutely worth reading. And the amount of knowledge about how the story was crafted is just insane. There's just so much to it. Like, we could be here forever talking about it. Check out the review I wrote on the site. Read the book for yourself. I'll link up the Luminous Fairies and Mothra review down below. But absolutely read that book yourself. It's such a quick, easy read. And the knowledge about what went into writing this is crazy. But yeah, so basically the story behind this is they needed a story for the next monster movie. They had been out of the monster game for a little while now. They hadn't done a monster movie in a bit since.
Yeah, this is 6 years after Godzilla.
Yes. So they wanted their next monster movie. So they enlisted a writer, and then he said, "You know what? Why don't I get these two other guys too?" So what they did was they sort of marathoned it. They had each writer wrote a section of the book. One writer started it. The next writer, he did his ideas. Then the third one wrote the finale. The finale in the book's extremely vague when it comes to the battles. They kind of left that open for the special effects team at Toho to determine how the battles were going to play out. So there's a lot of differences too, but overall, each story is really great. The movie is really was like just like paralleled the book very well, but like definitely didn't translate it exact. But I enjoy this movie. It's been an extremely long time. It was like watching it again for the first time for me.
For me, it was the first time.
I couldn't even remember. I know I've seen this movie, but it was like watching it for the first time. There really isn't a ton of Mothra action. Like Mothra's a single kaiju.
Mothra is probably in the movie for like,
yes,
if I'm being generous, 10 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
And that's including the larva.
Yes, the larva, what could the larva do? There's no arms. It's got no limbs. It can't grab a building. It can't like swat things. It's got the silk, and it just kind of. It's a worm. It kind of squirms. I mean, nothing against Mothra here. There's not.
The larva beat Godzilla.
Yes, it did. It did.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, honestly, the larva sequences were the better special effects sequences in the movie. Some of the incredible shots, the overhead shot that they do of it when it makes it on land, attacking Japan.
I thought when it came out of the egg, that was really
yes,
great.
The egg hatching was great. It was really like in my opinion, I preferred the larva sequences over the flying sequences.
They definitely got better with Mothra later in the show.
Oh, 100%, yes.
To the point where sometimes I think the Showa Mothra is better than the Heisei Mothras. Like the one like specifically like versus Biollante, and then like the GMK one. I just feel like the legs were more articulate, and it was just really impressive back then, like what they were able to accomplish with Mothra.
Yeah, you meant Batra, and then Biollante. I was like Batra.
Yeah, Batra. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Completely misspoke.
Yeah.
It was really impressive later on in the show period, like what they were able to accomplish with Mothra.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. And like it's interesting you bring up like the Mothras like those two because this Mothra like movies actually canon to of course the Showa era, but also the Tokyo SOS like era too, because like that Godzilla against the Kiryu series. This is like this movie's canon to that. The events were shown in flashbacks, and the main character Chujo actually like reprised his role in Tokyo SOS. Same actor reappears as him again all these years later, which is really cool. But yeah, the other cool thing like about this movie is
really?
Yeah, he's in it as himself, the translator. The other really cool thing about this movie is
I was thinking about a different character.
Oh, who are you thinking of? I
was thinking of Fukuda, which I consider to be the main character.
Yes, which yeah, true. Which we'll get to them in a little, but one of the cool things about this is it is also one of the first Toho movies, because you had Godzilla, we had Rodan, where the monster wasn't just some like mindless thing. It had a goal, it had a mission, and it wasn't just some like mindless rampaging beast just there to be killed at the end of the movie. This is the first kaiju to survive, and like be good in a way, even though it destroyed cities. It was sort of had good intention. It had a mission. It had a goal. It was rescuing the kidnapped Shobichin. But this whole thing starts off with, like I feel like the movie definitely doesn't touch on this aspect of it as much as the book did. So the movie opens up with a storm. Ship gets wrecked. 4 crew members survive on this island, and before the ship gets wrecked, they're like, yeah, we're caught between the storm and Infant Island, which is a nuclear radiation zone. It's been used for testing. And one of the main reasons for this exploration to the island where they discover the Shobichin, they get kidnapped, is because this island's supposed to be uninhabitable because it was tested for nuclear radiation. But on top of that, the Silicon government, they're trying to cover their asses because they did nuclear testing on an inhabited island. So it's not just like, oh, we're going there for science and wonders. It's like, oh,
and we're gonna pay for it.
It's like we fucked up.
Yeah.
And
they're like, there was people there.
Yeah. So like that's really the major part of it. And like in the book, it doesn't open with that storm happening and all these people. In the book, the crew, the exploration crew's already going there, and they're kind of like, yeah, we're going there because these guys were found, and supposedly there was a cave, and they survived off some berry juice, and there was natives, and it should be uninhabitable, but apparently they're there. And it's a joint like Japan or Silicon operation. Also, the different thing here is, Fukada doesn't go on the trip to the island the first time. He doesn't even come into the picture until the second part of it. They come back from the island in the book, but here he's there with them. But yeah, he takes
as a security guard.
Yes, as a security guard. He sneaks on board as a reporter, but then gets forced to work security because nobody's allowed to report what goes on here. But yeah, they go.
Yeah, I thought it was such a good idea for them to be like, you know, Fukada is a comic relief character in this movie, but he plays it so straight that like he's not like there to be like a jokester or anything.
Like, yeah,
it's just his character is very comedic.
Yes.
Like he just does things that are funny.
Yeah.
In the movie, like he just looks ridiculous sometimes.
Yeah.
And I just, you know, I'm watching this movie and I'm like, why don't they have more characters in kaiju movies like this?
Yeah.
Like you don't see this.
No. The cast is really good about this movie. Like,
yeah.
Like to me,
it's like if they threw Danny DeVito into Godzilla '98. Like that would have been the casting.
Yeah.
And he was just there, like, look at these giant lizards, and he's like running, like waddling around MSG or something like that.
I want to see that now.
Oh, he's like, you go knock over those gumballs. I'm gonna go barricade the door. Like that was like if they would have done that, but they threw like if it's this character in Mothra,
yeah.
Like and he's like a kung fu master.
Yeah, he basically goes like 5-on-1 and beats the crap out of these guys. But yeah, like, you know, they go to the island, they kidnap they try to kidnap the ship again. The sketchy guy Nelson, that's a representative of Rasilica, but you find out later on that he's really kind of just like a scammer. Like he tried to previously in the past go to South America and get beautiful women to put in a show, and it didn't work out for him. Fukada suspects that he's also a artifact thief, that he steals like ancient artifacts, resells them on the black market to profit. He's all for himself, Nelson. He's not really there for the Rasilican government. He just heard, hey, I heard there's an island with some natives. Let's see what I can get on this island. It's untouched. And we're going to invade that island and take what we want. And he treats the natives like garbage. He treats the Shobijin like property. They're not people. They're just things. So they go there the first time. The crew gets surrounded by tribesmen, and they plead with Nelson, don't take these ferries, return them. And he does. They go home, and to nobody else's knowledge besides his, he heads back again with another crew, and they kidnap the ferries again, and they shoot up the island as they're retreating and kill a lot of natives. Now in the books here, versus this scene, the retrieval of the ferries is a lot more violent, and less, oh, we got them and now we're retreating and defending ourselves. Was more, no, we're just showing up, guns blazing, just mowing down natives, whether attacking or not. They like invade the island, kill them all. And in the book, this is where Fukada is on the island. He goes back on his own. And he's living amongst them for like months. Chujo taught him the language after being befriending, because Fukada wanted a kind of scoop, and he had heard Fukada was the only one to speak with the natives, so he kind of like befriended Chujo and kind of learned about the island. And then he's finally like, listen man, I really kind of just wanted the scoop, but you know, we've become good friends. I want to go to the island. What can you tell me? And like, they're sworn to secrecy, this research, and they're not allowed to tell them what happened on the island. But he's like, go see for yourself. He gives them like a whole like cipher to learn the language. He becomes enthralled in their culture, and he's there when the island's getting slaughtered. He just witnesses just this mass shooting, basically, and then he witnesses Mothra hatch and go to shore. That doesn't happen in the movie. Fukuda has no clue this happens. Nelson just shows up with the fairies. They have no clue that this man went to an island and slaughtered all these people to kidnap fairies to profit. Yeah. So it's much darker in the book. The book's got a much darker tone than the movie. But you kind of get it here. I mean, he's just mowing down these people that are trying to prevent a kidnapping.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're saying like, oh, like they're like retreating in defense. I'm like, no, they kidnapped people.
Yeah. But like,
and, like the people are just walking towards them, like obviously threateningly, but like, and they just start mowing them down, and it's just like,
yeah, but
yeah, that sounds like something an American would do.
yeah, but
yeah, I just thought it was very blatant.
Yeah,
I didn't even get like the Soviet thing, but yeah, when you say that, then you look at the town that looked like an Eastern European village, like yeah, that kind of makes sense too. But like yeah, like but also with this whole like Silicon thing, like you can say that the government wasn't in favor of this and this was Nelson acting on his own and stuff like that. But also the government took no actions to prevent any of this, and then after the fact, when they found out what happened, defended him until the last possible second.
Yeah. Like,
and then even tried to providing military. They provided the bare minimum of military aid to help fight against Mothra.
Yeah, they like give him like 2 atomic heat rays that they use on the cocoon once Mothra attacks the city in cocoons, and they burn it. And at that point, they had told Nelson to like return the fairies. Like, listen, we're not backing you anymore. Clearly, this thing's pissed and wants those fairies back. And he decides he's going to not listen to that, and he's going to flee the country and take his show elsewhere.
Yeah, but yeah, essentially, Nelson returns to Japan. He starts a stage show with the Shobijin. And it's like a big ticket thing. People keep going there, but like also people are like, hey, like, aren't those sentient beings? Like,
yeah.
That seems kind of wrong. So people in Japan are already kind of protesting it as it being wrong. And then there's the stage dancers. Yeah, they just don't need to portray natives the way that they portray them in this movie. And we're not going to touch on that topic any further. But like, yeah, kind of weird.
Yeah.
that they went to go do that. But
yeah, I guess the 60s, it was just still a thing, apparently.
In Japan.
Yeah.
Not. I don't think we were doing that here.
True, that's true.
Anymore.
No, yeah.
Because there's a song in White Christmas about how he misses the minstrel shows. So that means that they were done by the mid-50s.
Yeah. True.
But anyway, they do the stage show. He seemingly has no security beyond like 4 dudes.
4 thugs, yeah.
And like Fukuda is able to beat them all up.
Yeah.
So like that's not a problem. They could take the ferries at any point. They just don't because they don't have like the right to do that.
Because it's like an international thing. They're like for Silicon property. It's a whole like government BS thing.
So then like they keep going back and forth. Like so then like instead of the Japanese government stepping in and like taking possession of the Sobijin or anything like that, they develop a box that might theoretically prevent them from telepathically linking with Mothra. So they just aid Nelson.
Yeah.
They don't, but in a way of self-preserving themselves. But like, once they do that, in my head, they are completely complicit with what he's doing.
Yeah, I didn't understand why they wanted to provide that. Like, it didn't slow. Like, Mothra was already on the way. Like, if anything, it would aggravate it more, in my opinion. Like, it just didn't make that whole concept didn't make sense.
It didn't make sense. And the fact that they provided it to him was even weirder.
And it's not something that's not a thing that was done in the books at all either. It was just that was just so like weird. I didn't get the purpose of that at all. That was just such a like odd storyline that I didn't get it.
Yeah. So then later on in the book,
In the movie,
Chujo's brother Shinji goes to kidnap the fairies himself because no one else is going to go do it.
Yeah, so the child...
And he's like almost successful, but then they like knock him out with like chloroform or something. I have no idea.
They like choked him out, like they like shoved like cloths in his mouth and like tied him up. I guess maybe
but that was kind of towards the end because at that point the Japanese government was like,
also,
yeah, Mothra's here, so we're gonna shut this down now.
Yeah,
because it's real, even though we've already had multiple ships and a dock get taken out. And then that's when the Silicon government's like, yeah, we're not going to back you now. Even though they were backing him, they were like, yeah, no, that's his property. We back that.
Yeah.
Even though they're completely sentient beings, we back that. But yeah, it sounds like something our country would do.
Yeah.
So then Nelson's on the run, and like the Silicon government, seemingly in the movie, is still kind of backing him, or some type of operative of the Silicon government backs him because they provide him fake paperwork saying that he's like a delegate and employee of the embassy while he's at the airport.
Yeah. So
when he gets stopped by airport security, he fleeing the country to fly to the exact country where he would be fleeing to, and he looks exactly the same beyond him having a fedora and slightly shaded glasses on.
Like what?
Just goes, well, this is going to the Silicon embassy, so do you want to deal with that?
Yeah.
And the security guard's like, no, I don't. You can just go.
It's true.
So he makes it back home, and he's like, we're going to be filthy rich. And then everyone's like, yeah, this is great. And then they were like, wait, Mothra finds out where these fairies are, right? Like, he doesn't just, like, show up in a random spot. Like, he's tracking down the fairies, right? Like, you brought the fairies.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, man, well, hopefully that doesn't happen. And they're like, Mothra is hatched and is heading to New Kirk City. And he's like, oh, that's not good. So...
Well, first they celebrate because they think Mothra got burned alive when they burned the cocoon, but it's the burning of the cocoon's rapid, it sped up the transformation process.
Yeah, all it did is help. So then he gets in the car and he's driving away, and he has the Shobijin in his suitcase. And then a whole crowd notices that it's him in Basilica.
And they're like, oh, it's being attacked.
And they crowd the car. And then he gets out of the car with a pistol and tries to hold an entire country at gunpoint.
It's basically, yeah.
Who's like, ah! And there's like cops surrounding him already.
And he doesn't even have the Shobijin in hand now at this point. It's just him. Like, just turn him over. And
he's like, get away from me. And I'm like, where is the end goal with this? Is he going to like hold the whole country? Because he's already essentially held all of Japan hostage.
He could have just like...
So he's going to hold this country at hostage too?
He could have ran them over even. Like, why get out of the car?
Yes.
But yeah, he gets out of the car, shoots a cop, and then just starts running away. And then they just put two in the back, and he's dead. Yeah. And the fairies just there in the car, and they call up. At this point, Chujo and Fukada figured out that he had fled to Japan. So they just appear there with, like, their Japanese representatives, and they're familiar with the fairies. Like, we got plans.
So this is the part of the movie that didn't make any sense to me, right? So if there was a giant monster that was going to come and destroy my country because I stole two fairies, right? Without any context beyond me knowing that, right? I think the first thing I would do is go to the pier and like let the fairies be free, right? I wouldn't keep them in the suitcase until the Japanese delegates show up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just stand at like some corner and be like, "Oh, you're here. What do we do with these?"
It's basically what happens.
Here's the keys to the case. We didn't open it yet. Is there enough airflow? We don't know.
It's true. This is the plot hole here.
And then, like, they see, like, I understand it looked a little ridiculous to walk around with the dolls to represent the Shobijin. But the fact that they kept him in the cage throughout the movie, even when they were supposed to be freed, they just kept him in the cage like they were like dogs in a puppy carrier or something.
Yeah.
I was just like, there's gotta be a better solution than this.
Go back in the box now, guys.
Like, Mothra didn't show up and was like, they're still in the cage? It's been hours at this point.
Were they supposed to go to the bathroom in that thing?
Yeah.
Did you put paper down?
Like,
they didn't even put paper down.
Yeah, they have like the little like wood shavings, like a little gerbil. But like, so they noticed the church bells are the exact cadence of the Mothra song, which is not what church bells sound like.
I didn't. That was like, what's
at all. They're like, there's a religious connection here because there is a sun behind this cross, and then the bells rang and it sounded like the Mothra song. So we're gonna have all the church bells in the country play at the same time and draw a giant cross and circle on the tarmac and put the Shobijins there, and then Mothra will know to land there and get the Shobijins.
Yeah, because the Mothra symbol is apparently a cross with the sun behind it. That's as far as they interpreted it there.
So we are to assume, right? So this is what I am inferring from this symbolism, that the natives on Infant Island had a Mormon missionary there at some point in their history. In the early 1900s, right? They had a Mormon missionary there, and that's how they know of God. How else is Mothra's symbol a cross with a giant sun behind it, and all the church bells seem to like also be Catholicism connected to Mothra?
Which is not at all what happens in the book. The Mothra.
So Jesus predates Mothra.
The Mothra origin is like totally different.
So like the Shobijins got mutated by the atomic bomb testing.
No, they were.
And Mothra's new.
They were already there.
But like, why do the church bells and the cross have to do anything with Mothra?
I think it was all coincidental.
What?
Yeah. That's my opinion. There is that it was coincidental. It had nothing to do with Mothra.
I mean, I know the real answer is that like Catholicism is like this weird thing in Japan that's like this nebulous idea, so they just like throw it in because it looks cool. Like that's the real world answer. Like they're like, yeah, like we just kind of think that crosses are cool. Like, so we just throw them in stuff. Like it's in like a bunch of different animes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ultraman is, I mean, Super Riot was Catholic, so like the symbolism there is actually on purpose. But like, for the most part, they just chuck it in stuff to make it look cool and edgy.
Yeah.
But like, in when you like logically think about the story, you're like, why is that? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't. This is why I say read the book. This is going to be one of those cases where read the book for sure. Read the book.
But like, I love how like Japan was like totally willing to like theoretically get their city destroyed,
just because
over protecting this man's right
to kidnap
in their country to own two living beings as property.
Yeah.
They were like willing, and then like it started getting destroyed, and they were like, "Oh, this is expensive. Maybe we should just give up the two ferries." But we're not gonna like send someone right away to go get them. Like that's too much work.
We got to give them time to try to get away.
Yeah, like it's 5 guys in a building. that it's seemingly a child can infiltrate.
Literally did. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, overall, I feel like the movie and its legacy is like the big highlight of it. I like the human cast was great, like you said, Fukada, Chucho.
Oh, like one of my favorite characters in a kaiju movie ever.
Yeah,
I thought he was great.
Yeah, yep. And like just like we said, there's just a lot of legacy to this. I mean, Mothra went on to, like I said, this went on to be canon for the Kiryu series, Showa era, set the precedent for like the kaiju just not being mindless rampaging monsters now. Like they kind of like made them a little sentient, smart. First kaiju to survive from Toho too. And I get killed at the end of the movie. I mean, iconic movie. Can't say anything bad about it.
No, yeah, no.
I mean,
yeah, there's some silly plot points, but when you actually like break down like all the political stuff that they were trying to say in this movie, it is still super relevant today. I think like now more than ever, and like, yeah, it's just a really great movie. I think the most current release out for this movie is the Mill Creek Blu-ray. I think it is still in circulation.
Yeah, I would snatch those up if you can, because I don't know when they're going to stop printing them. I don't know if we're going to get like a new one, since it is going to be the 60th anniversary this year.
I mean, I would love to see a Criterion or an Arrow. I feel like Criterion probably would get it, but like I would love to see an Arrow release of this movie. Maybe some 4K scans.
It was the Mill Creek one was very nice.
It was nice. There was some scenes, mainly when they were inside the theater talking with the Shobijin, where there was like some artifacts on the scan.
And the Mothra like flying at scenes too were a little artifacty too.
Yeah, like there was like literally like there might have been like some lint on like, the frames or something.
Yeah, but overall it wasn't bad. Good sound. First time honestly I've watched the Mothra Blu-ray. Before I had watched this, I wanted to see which one I had like on my Plex server, and it was the DVD, and oh boy, it was night and day from the Blu-ray. So
yeah, that's the same wrong with Blu-ray. But like if they are gonna re-release it, I'd like to be in 4K.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, and I'm sure we're gonna see that. I think we might start seeing. I mean, we just had the Biollante. I feel like we should start getting some more 4Ks here in the States.
Yeah, I was surprised that we got the Biollante, and I thought that was going to be the beginning of like, oh yeah, so Criterion's going to be putting out these movies.
It's weird, yeah.
And like, I know it got a lot of backlash and people weren't super happy with that release. To that I say buy the Blu-ray version that went down in price significantly because of that 4K release.
No. Yeah, at least
if you want all those bells and whistles, buy both. I have both.
At least it lowered the Blu-ray market, that's for sure.
Yeah, I really let me check to see like what that price is right now. But like, I don't know, I just feel like this movie, and like if they did like a Toho Criterion set where we got this, Rodan, Varin, Space Amoeba, War of the Gargantuans, like I just feel like that set would sell amazingly well.
Yeah, Frankenstein Conquers.
Yeah, Frankenstein Conquers. I just feel like they're just leaving like money on the table. So a Blu-ray copy of Godzilla vs. Biollante is around $50 to $60 right now. So it actually sells more than the Criterion release.
So it's still up there, but it's
better than paying $120.
It's not outrageous anymore.
Yeah. It definitely took care of the absolutely insane prices. Oh, there's a couple on Mercari that are like $30.
Yeah. So, yeah.
if you do some shopping around, it looks like you can get a deal on that Blu-ray. But yeah, I mean the Mothra ones. I mean, are they still like $10?
I think they were like 20.
Yeah, I'm seeing like 25.
And they're in a steel book too. It's a really nice presented.
Yeah, it's a really nice steelbook. There was a Eureka release.
Yes, there was. That was a little shortly after too. And I think there's also a steel book too.
Yeah, I don't know if that's any different feature-wise. This did have an English commentary track on it.
Masters of... Oh, no, that's not steelbook. That is also available on Amazon.
Yeah. Just note on the Eureka version that is a European Blu-ray, so you need to have a way of playing Region B Blu-rays. Hint, hint, most Blu-ray players, if you put a Region B Blu-ray in there and you just jam that top menu button, as soon as you put that disc in, it will skip through the copy protection, through the region protection, and just goes straight to the main menu. It's not a guarantee, but most Blu-ray players do that. English subtitles, audio commentary. It looks like it's... Oh, wow. It looks like it's got more commentary tracks on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It looks like it's got quite a few more special features on it. And it's got a booklet. But as far as playing it, though, like, it's the same price as the Steelbook. They're both $29. But the Steelbook is just going to work, no frills, no issues. You just put the disc in, it's going to work in your player. Unless you're in Europe, then get the Eureka version.
Yeah, absolutely. Or if you have a computer with a DVD drive, a Blu-ray drive, just...
Yeah, you can just rip it.
Plop it in there, rip it, throw it on a Plex server, and then you can watch it. I mean, I know it defeats the purpose of physical media, but I have the physical media, and then sometimes for convenience, I have it on the Plex server too. Just sometimes I could watch it on the go. I could watch it when I'm not at home.
I think that's still a valid reason to have physical media because
100%.
that's your copy of that movie.
Yeah, 100%.
Digitally on there.
Yeah.
And it's you're not paying Netflix, you're not paying HBO
No,
Max.
exactly.
To watch that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, great movie. Hope we do get like a good version. Like, not that we don't have a good version, but like remaster or something soon. It's a classic, and we hope we get those other Toho movies too.
Yeah, and this is our first movie review of 2026. We're not 100% sure yet what we're doing. Because it is a big year for Mothra. We are strongly leaning towards doing the whole Rebirth trilogy as well for this year. So we'll see, like where the year takes us, if we can get all three of those movies in as well. But yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next episode. We'll have some more Godzilla Kai-sei Universe comics to cover, some more Monarch, and who knows what else will be out by then. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you for watching.
See ya. Good night.